crucial because tomorrow is the biggest holiday of the year in North Korea. It's a day that has been used in the past to carry out these big, high-profile weapons tests. And overnight, already some tough talk from a North Korean official who called President Trump's policy toward North Korea vicious and aggressive, and vowed his country is prepared to go to war if provoked. Flower power on display overnight in North Korea, the secretive regime showing off shiny new buildings and prepping for parades in the capital, Pyongyang. While in the country's northeast at its nuclear site, experts say there are signs North Korea is primed and ready for a sixth nuclear test, possibly as soon as tomorrow, to mark the 105th anniversary of the birth of the nation's founder and the current leader's grandfather, Kim Il-sung. The country's vice foreign minister telling the Associated Press overnight, the country will go ahead with a nuclear test at a time and place they deem necessary. NBC News has learned 2 American destroyers with Tomahawk cruise missiles are now 300 miles from the nuclear test site. Multiple sources telling NBC News that if U.S. intelligence detects a nuclear test is imminent, for the first time in history, the White House is considering a preemptive strike, a strike that could include both missiles and bombs, as well as cyber attacks and special operations.
We're working with international partners in order to defuse the situation, but the bottom line is
we start in North Korea, where the Kim Jong-un regime is holding a huge military parade to mark the 105th birthday of the country's founder and former leader Kim Il-sung today, also known in North Korea as the Day of the Sun. As yet, there have been no provocations to speak of. There have been concerns North Korea might decide to mark the occasion with a nuclear or missile test, but nothing yet. We have on the line Kwon Jang-ho, our correspondent at Seoul's Unification Ministry, who has been watching the parade for us. Tell us, Jang-ho, how have the proceedings gone so far?
Good afternoon, Mark. So as you mentioned, it's the birthday of Kim Il-sung today, and it's one of the most important dates in the North Korean calendar. And as you said, a military parade is taking place in Pyongyang in honor of the former leader. It started about 2 hours ago, and it's being attended by the current leader and grandson, Kim Jong-un himself. Thousands of soldiers and pieces of military hardware are shown off in these parades, and as usual, it has been a very impressive feat of coordination and discipline. They're also charged the regime to showcase its military might and array of arsenals to the world. There are currently some 200 foreign journalists in Pyongyang who have been invited to cover this parade and other celebratory events. New weapons are normally unveiled at these occasions, and today a submarine-launched ballistic missile has been shown for the first time. It's likely to be the same model as the SLBM that was successfully test-fired in August last year. What's also noticeable today is that there's no Chinese delegation. Normally, as the regime's next-door neighbor and primary ally, a representative from the Chinese government is invited to attend. But it looks like no one was here today, possibly due to the heightened tensions between China and the US as they dispute how to deal with North Korea. The parade is still currently ongoing, so I'll have more details later. Mark?
더 높이 안아 올리신 경의하는 최고領導者동지에 대한 경고의 족을 금치 못하는 우리 군대와 인민입니다.